Hello everyone and welcome to this video, which is another game against fairy stockfish. I was wondering whether I really was using the NNUE on this website, so there is an extra thing where you can select an NNUE. So I was sort of assuming that one was included, but I don't know. So anyway, I've selected that NNUE this time, and we're going to see whether it makes a difference. It might just be that I've been playing against the normal fairy stockfish so far, which is always going to be pretty strong, of course, but that I might be facing another increase in strength. Well, we're going to see, aren't we? Going to play a 1d4 again, and yeah, we're going to see how that goes. I just need to flip the board once, and off we go. Be interesting to see whether stockfish now plays a different opening, for example. That would be well, 1d5 rather than knight f6 and c6. So I'm going to play again 2e3, and then I'm going to play c4 afterwards, and we're going to see what stockfish does about that. Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting things, obviously about pawn sideways is that, pawn weaknesses are not really pawn weaknesses, right? So I can play an IQP and then afterwards decide, okay, well, I've had enough of having that dynamism. I'll just move the pawn to the left or to the right somehow. So quite gives you quite a few possibilities. C4 now. I saw actually that in the DeepMind paper that I think this was what AlphaZero did, played 2e3 and 3c4 when specified to play 1d4. So we will see. Knight f6. I'm just going to develop normally for now. Knight c3, just as I would in a normal game. Obviously, 2e3 is slightly unusual, but it's possible. It's it's not totally crazy. Okay, well, taking on c4. Obviously, I've got to take on c4, otherwise b4 will happen. We're not stupid. And a6. Interesting question whether he's gonna he's doing that to go b5 bishop b7, or whether he just wants to go a6 b6. Yeah, interesting choice now. I mean, I could play knight to f3. In general, I don't particularly think it's useful to allow him to expand on the queen side like that. The problem with a4 always is that black can play these IQP positions, but if I'm not worried about them, I might as well stop it. So I'm going to play the move a4, I think. Seems sensible to me. I mean, I think this might also help me. Not clear, but I want to try and play. It's unclear whether I really want to castle kingside early against stockfish. But on the other hand, with a somewhat open position, I wouldn't have thought it would be too bad. I'm not too worried then about moves like g5 or whatever. Oh. Very nice. So I hadn't expected that. Turning this into an exchange Slav type structure. Both a little bit weird because the bishops are are inside the pawn chain. Normally, I'd be expecting to play. To have the bishop on f4 and black, might have the bishop on f5 in an exchange Slav. That could happen quite often anyway. Interesting. Obviously, I will be able to play the pawn over to c4 if I want. That could be quite interesting. Could see a few draws by repetition happening, couldn't you, in human games? I think. I'm going to just play the bishop back to d3 then. That's very natural, and we'll see what happens. Now he's close to the centre. Now I'm a little bit more worried about these. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I was going to say now I'm a little bit more worried about these ideas of doing that because it's weird, isn't it? I mean, he's closed the centre, but he could always open it again. Now I could play e4 in this position. I've got two lines that appeal to me. I mean, e4, also knight e5, followed by f4. Why do I like knight e5 followed by f4? Well, I'm tending to take just a little bit of kingside space to stop black from taking too much. You know, that's what's happening with me. And I do sort of feel really that that's not a bad idea. The only problem, of course, is that if I play a move like knight e5, he can always nudge me away with d6. So, and if I could achieve f4, it might be okay, but I think knight e5 will just nudge me away with d6. So that's not actually really worth anything. And playing castles feels like I'm asking for it really. So I think I should be trying to do something before castling. Yeah, I was vaguely wondering about playing a5 with the idea of b5, but I think guess after a5 he'll go b6 simply and pin me that way, unless I've got a very clever idea. It's probably not going to be that good. Bishop d2 could be played to try and facilitate that sort of idea because I'm protecting my rook on a1. Probably go knight c6 then. I mean, I could look for plans, you know, playing pawn c2 to bring it to c4. Need to move my knight from e2. Yeah, not still searching. I think a little bit for ways in which I should develop my pieces. You know, I mean, having the bishop on d3 actually stops you from playing e3 to d3, doesn't it? So. I mean, Leela odds would be looking for g4 here, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite, not ready. I'm not quite ready for for this in sideways pawn chess. Would be a nice way of getting the h file, right? I mean, I go g4, knight g4, hg, and then I've got the h file for the future. For the future, I think. It's not half as stupid as it looks, but it looks pretty stupid. Trying to combine everything. It feels well, certainly in real chess, you know, playing e4 in this type of position would be doing things a little bit too early, really, and just giving black everything that he needs. So I'm a little bit about it. I'd like to be just a little bit more subtle about it, but also delay castling kingside. That's the thing. So what I'm going to do simply is to play the move bishop d2. I'm going to go bishop d2 and rook c1, I think. And yeah, we're just going to b6. Now maybe the pawn's going to head over to c6. You never know. Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I'm not that impressed with with that, I have to say. But you know, um, but okay, who am I? Part of me now really that does just want a castle, and say he goes g5, I go knight e5, d6, and then just play f4, and just say, well, if you want to play this sort of position, I'll just sack a piece on you and have good compensation. Would definitely be dangerous. Obviously, you wouldn't need to go castles immediately, but yeah, I don't know whether to play rook c1, c6. Is he going to go put the pawn on c6? Maybe he is. At that moment, e4 looks a little bit more tempting, really, because his pieces look passive. It's not easy, yeah? It's not easy to put this all together. Yeah, I mean, castles is interesting. I definitely think if g5, knight e5, d6, f4, just sack a piece like that and ask him what on earth he's doing with his life. Another idea is just to go rook c1. Okay, I'm just going to go castles. At some stage, I always feel I need to go castles. Now, that may be wrong. I mean, Stockfish is very restrained with castling, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think. I understand why it might be a bad move, but I don't think it's a particularly bad move. Knight e5, knight c6. Okay. It's weird. I feel like I've got the b5 square, but of course he could always move his pawn back there. So okay. I mean, I do feel like playing a move that would be probably pretty decent in normal chess. Slightly knight e5. I'm thinking of takes knight d7, f4 knight c5 somehow, and bishop check he's got c6. So if bishop d2 he's got this d4 idea. Not sure about king h1. I'd be thinking about doing it, but he's got this hg, of course, right? So I've got to be a little bit careful about that. e4. He's got knight b4. Hard to anticipate all the things that Stockfish might do to you. I'm going to play rook c1 here. I'm trying to get that blend, of development and action. Okay, g5. We've got g5 in now. Fine. Fine. All right. Well, I'm just going to do my move, right? An emotional reaction there, of course, but right. Okay, so stuff like knight b5, he's got the move c6. I guess. This is the question somehow. I mean, I've got the idea of going knight d6 check here. It's an interesting question, right? I mean, you know, how good is this? Obviously, you sort of... I mean, yeah. The one thing I feel about this somehow, you know, knight b5, c6, knight d6, is that that pawn on d6 is a little bit irritating. I mean, he can surround it, I'm sure, but surely I can claim, even in these types of things, to have compensation. I mean, that's a very tempting thing for me, so we'll have a little look at it. I'm just wondering whether there's anything else. I mean, f4 is not silly. What I get slightly worried about is that he's going to take, put a bishop on c5 check and then go hg and then start attacking me like this. So I would rather I was attacking him first of all. There's also knight d5 and e6, but I guess that's too much simply. So let me do this. It feels not too stupid. So we're going to do it. I don't see much difference, by the way, really in the play between this and the other stockfish so far. So yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming this hasn't made any difference. But I can just sacked a piece somehow. It's okay. All right. Yeah. So obviously the interesting point here is that this will not be defended in the normal manner, of course. What am I looking for here? I mean, if you're asking me what do I want to do, I mean, I would be quite happy, I think, getting an opposite coloured bishop position, you know, where I'm God on the dark squares, basically. So, I mean, I am kind of thinking here, you know, I don't mind if he goes knight e5 and then takes my bishop. I'm probably happy to do that. It's one possibility. I mean, I guess he's going to look for f5 here, right? And then afterwards queen h4. I mean, I'm wondering about playing e4, d4, f4 maybe. Takes. Of course, I'm opening, you know, if I get rid of the g pawn, I'm opening the lineup of his queen. But, you know, you look at it and you think, well, yeah, but is that really dangerous somehow? Like, is that... The only thing I've got to watch out is that he's got this rook a5 swinging over to h5, of course. So I do have to watch out for stuff like this. But you can't take everything this guy is doing seriously, can you? If he goes f5, he's kind of got a grip on things a bit, hasn't he? If I go e4 though and he goes d4, I've got a... Yeah, I've got all sorts of moves I would like to have had, you know, a5, b4. I'd like to have them all there somehow to keep control. sort of wondering whether, wondering which ones I should play first. I think that's the big dilemma for me. Obviously, yeah. I mean, there could be some subtlety in how he's going to move his pieces around. All right. I'm going to play this move first of all. Why am I doing that? First of all, I'm trying to stop the rook from coming over. And well, let's do this. And now bishop c3 was my idea. Just got distracted. I'm just wondering about bishop b4 actually. Possible. Bishop c3. That's what we're going to do. With queen d6, I want to play f4. That's the idea. I mean, I'm just trying to claim that I've got this. So bishop h8 has got knight c1. I don't think it's right for me to be exchanging off. So queen d3. So I'm just trying to claim that with these opposite coloured bishops, I'm going to have good attacking chances. The alpha zero approach somehow. I don't think it's unreasonable. So I don't think it's going to be amazingly easy for him to, sort of adjust himself. Obviously, if one can survive something like this, then it's him. I mean, what I'm interested in, of course, is trying to get some control of the dark squares. And how am I going to do this? I mean, bishop f6 is not so stupid, right? I mean, okay, he can go f7 or e7, but that doesn't feel stupid somehow. But I've got to watch out with this pawn on a5. I don't want to just give away pawns recklessly. That's why I wonder whether I should play the move bishop e5 here. Okay, he can go queen b4, and then I can always go fg. Bishop on e5 is protecting h2, which I quite like. I'm kind of safe, yeah? I mean, kind of safe there. Even ideas like rook f7. Yeah, that's always possible. Bishop e5, he could go queen e7, and then I want to do queen c3, and just be able to have f6 for my bishop. Okay, we're going to do it. Nah, doesn't really feel to me like NNUE has made a difference. I mean, it can be two things, right? I mean, either I was playing with NNUE, well, it can be several things. Was playing with NNUE already, or it just hasn't picked up the setting, or makes no difference. So yeah, okay. I guess that he wants to play f5 after. I've got to try and work out what I want to. He's attacking this pawn twice. I might be aiming to go g4 next. What about queen h4? Fair enough. I really just do want to keep on attacking somehow, yeah? That's what I'm keen on. It's not necessarily bad that his rook, that he takes this pawn. I mean, if I've got something, an idea, then, that's great. But I don't really see, yeah, I can't keep on giving away pawns somehow, obviously. I'm going to play b4 here, and what I'm looking for is to play, b5. I'm trying to keep his pieces down. Okay, this is fine. I mean, he's threatening queen h4. But I'll have h3 simply, right? If he goes g5, well, I could always take off simply. If he goes queen g3, I've got rook f3. So I don't see the problem in that. So now the interesting question. I mean, b5 obviously looks quite interesting. a6 and b5. Trying to be a bit more forcing. Queen to d4. I mean, he's got stuff like ed, or he's got here, but I mean, I guess something like here followed by there, maybe. If I go queen d4, he might go here, then just threaten there, and he's going to win the bishop somehow. I don't think I should take too long to... If I go b5, he's probably going to play the pawn here. Look to play c5, maybe? Well, you start feeling that... God, you start feeling that you should be sacking and causing damage somehow, but not so easy. It's a mixture, isn't it? I don't want to be just attacking, giving him everything, and by attacking. On the other hand, I don't want to just be, to take my time so much that that he ends up, just getting a massive attack, and I think, I'm just dying like a baby, basically, yeah, and I might as well have gone for it. So always the difficult decisions when you're playing somebody stronger. It's the same with human players. I think, I mean, if I was, if I do like a6, I have to say. Rook a6, b5. Watch out, eh? He comes to a2. Ah! It's quite dangerous quite quickly if he gets a rook onto a2 and then plays queen h4. obviously, yeah, bit torn. I mean, I want to play a consolidating. I feel maybe I should play a consolidating move, but a little bit sad at doing it as well. But okay, I will. I'll play the move rook f2 here. I better have some time for stockfish. Go for it, mate. Okay, well, we thought of this. He's going to try and get some control over things. Okay, that's fine. So which of my tempting solutions? A6 and b5, or just b5? b5, he'll go c5, I guess. For rook c5, he'll go d6. Takes d5, bishop e6. Chess is so complicated. Rook d4. He's no longer threatening queen h4, suddenly strikes me. I mean, g4 would definitely be interesting me against a human opponent. Yeah, it does not appear particularly sensible against stockfish. B5, c5. Yeah, I do think I need this move. I think I need this move. Just seeing, you know, queens coming in and giving checks and stuff. So I think I just need a few consolidating moves just to make myself safe. F6, okay. Lovely. Oh God, he's going to play d6 and then e5. That's what he's looking for. What the hell? He's going to build up a centre, isn't he? Okay, I'm going to move back. King f7. Oh, God, got to say he's looking pretty solid, isn't he, really? How am I going to break through that? Yeah, this poor match. Actually, somebody played a game against me in a very similar way, putting all the pawns in front. I actually won on the queen side because everything went over there, but maybe I have just been too slow here, yeah? Should have tried to strike faster, maybe. But this pawn mass is certainly, yeah. Okay. Well, we can't do anything about this. I mean, if I let him, he's just going to bring all of his heavy pieces to the king side, isn't he? I mean, I think that's the general feeling here. So yeah, I've lost a bit of optimism in the position, but I'm going to play the move b5 in any case. I'm a bit nervous that if I wait for too long now, I'm just going to get squashed simply. Well, at least yeah, vaguely. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I had I had the dark squares, and now I don't. Yeah, I had the attack. I had the light squared. I had the opposite coloured bishops for the attack, and I've ended up without the attack now. Oh, dear me. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I feel I've got a little space at least to attack him, and I don't actually think that just like this he's going to be able to break through on the king side. I don't believe so. But okay, we'll see. And the danger is that that he's going to end up doing something with like d4 and. But okay, we will deal with that when it comes. I'm just going to move my king out so I don't get hit by a rook g8 and rook takes h3 at some stage. And then we're going to see if rooks start moving over. I mean, I might get a g4 at some stage. He can't really, he needs his pawn. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to. Not quite sure what to make of this position really, but yeah, it's not easy for me to find a plan, obviously, but maybe it's not so easy for him. Who knows? What do I want? Do I want the rooks off, the queens off? Obviously, it's one of those things where, especially when you're playing the engineer, that you just start seeing, you only start seeing ways in which your position can get worse. It's not quite clear. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to play to a1 here. I'm going to try and keep within reasonable limits. I'm going to try and keep the pieces on the board. So I'm aiming for h5. That's my feeling. I want to keep his rooks honest. God, of course. He doesn't need to. Yes, I'd missed that. I was thinking, the chess way that d4. But he's blocking. Oh, he's blocking my diagonal. Now he's bringing his bishop. Yeah, okay. I'd missed this. It's one of those. Okay, well, this is going to be really nasty, right? Because now he's going to bring his bishop into there as well. Ah, yes. Yeah, I just didn't quite get the. I didn't quite just understand how to do something really with my position. I I'm just going to get killed here. Just yeah. Difference in the power of the bishops, really, and it was all mine. I thought that was that was my advantage, and it's turned out to be his. Chish. Okay, I'm just going to try and keep on pressuring that pawn on c5. I think that's what I'm going to do for now. Yeah, I mean, you could play a move like d6 now. That's stuff like that. But okay, I mean, he's creating weaknesses as well when he does stuff. So, and his king is not super duper. So, okay, he wants to bring bishop in round there. Yeah, I mean, I was wondering about playing bishop a3 here. At least to play c4 and try and stop him from doing that. I'd rather do it with bishop d4, of course, but I don't know whether I can manage that. Chances that I get horrifically pinned are quite high, of course. What are the rewards for taking risks like that? Well, I think bishop on a3 is badly placed, right? I mean, on d4, I'm aiming towards stuff. I'm also getting a7. Ah, come on, Matthew, be brave. I'm going to lose it in principle anyway, aren't I? So let's just keep on being brave and going for it, and he can show me how the tactics work. Oh, queen to d7. Yeah, that's. I thought I had. Yeah, okay. Whatever I thought, I was wrong. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those. It's going to be a bit of a sad human against engine thing where things just start going horribly wrong, really. But, okay. Obviously, I can't take on c5. He takes on d1, so I've just given him this for free. Obviously looking for violence. Prove that I didn't miss something. But yeah, I definitely did, of course. Oh, let's we'll just I'm not gonna spend too much time now. I'm gonna lose this eventually. So he's just going to line up with all his light square pieces on. I've mishandled this somehow. So let's just play a bit naturally, do our stuff, and it's going to happen. Give the stockfish some more time. D6, okay. Rook A7, is that good? Well, let's do it. Why not? It's quite tough, you know, sort of dealing with all these permutations of pawn structure somehow. It's far from easy. Now, I knew he was going to rearrange himself with the, but I guess I should have. I had a moment there where, or I should have just stuck a bishop. I don't know. I don't quite know what I should have done, to be honest. It's, but feels like I should have had something, but yeah, just tough to say. Yeah, he's also his bishop's able to come back now. It's also. Well, okay. I don't fully understand this, but obviously there'll be some tactic. Don't quite understand what he's doing, to be honest. Go rook there. His king will be quite hard to. This lovely little diamond shape. His king will be quite tough to trap, I would imagine. So takes. He's keeping control of the c5 square. So that's quite decent. I've got to watch out. I'd love to take. He takes back, and I move my bishop round to here, and I'm trying to get in b4, but he forks me with queen c5, takes on e3 when I go somewhere, and then he's going to start having rook h3 tricks. The fishy. the mean fishy. So it's probably going to happen. Probably going to happen regardless. We're just going to do it, I think. Suppose you could take with. Looks a bit open, yeah. And yeah, bishop on c3. So it goes queen c5. Just wonder whether I could go queen a4, queen d7. Queen b6. Doesn't change anything materially. Just going to win a lot of pawns, unfortunately. So rook h3 looks good enough. Takes, he goes queen f2 and bishop e4. Queen h3 goes queen a7. Yeah. Yeah, you know, haven't exactly been smashed, but yeah, just there's clearly one better player. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is fair enough. I'd resign in a normal game, so I'm going to do that here. Yeah. Tricky that one. I think I had some decent chances, but I didn't. I just didn't quite get it right. But I don't quite know how I could have got it right. It would be interesting to play some engine games from this position. I'll see whether I can organise it and whether I can get them to play with proper fairy chess rules. As I said, at the moment, whenever I try and do anything like that, they just end up playing normal chess together. So we'll see whether that works or not. But okay, interesting game, right? And as you know, you just see that Stockfish always playing these g5 ideas, delaying castling, playing the pawn to g7. I'm tending to castle at some stage. I'm castling a little bit later, but still tending to do it. I don't know. It would be interesting, if you said, "Oh well, no castling is better." It wouldn't be amazing. But I don't think I don't think the result of the opening and all that is so amazingly clear, that you say, this is absolutely the way to do it. But yeah, it's clearly a very interesting strategy, and definitely definitely interesting. All right, well, thanks very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you're enjoying these games. Putting a lot of effort into it, and but I think it's really good somehow, So let's anyway. If you enjoy them, please do give a like and subscribe, leave a comment, and otherwise, thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much.